जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Thank you for coming. So today is the final class session of the entire Gita in nutshell. Obviously, there are a lot of topics that we cannot cover, but the idea is to cover when we start Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so we'll quickly discuss. Oh no, we lost 5 minutes. Okay, so we'll quickly discuss whatever we learned in the last session. So what was the topic? What was the major topic? Karma. Why bad things happen to good people. Right? We discussed in length. And then finally we discussed that how we discussed Prakriti also, right? We started with Prakriti, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Then we discussed Kala, time. Finally Karma. In Karma we discussed 3 things, out of which 2 only were discussed, right? One was Karma, good things, and pious activities. And Vikarma, bad things or impious activities. And we understood that how both of these things are actually entangling. Solution is akarma, right? So today we will discuss a little bit of akarma. Till now, every session what we should do is we should take 1 or 2 topics and we should go a little in depth. Not too much depth because of the lack of time, but still. Today is the last session. It will be like a broad overview of everything. When we enter into Bhagavad Gita more deeply, that time we discuss. So today's section is like that, practical applications. One of the feedback I had got, what about practical applications? So we discussed a little bit, right, in the 5th and 6th session. And today also will be more in depth. Practical applications of Bhagavad Gita. How to apply. Okay. First, what is yoga? What do you think? What is yoga? Link.
Mind-body connection.
Connection, right? So yoga comes from the word, the dhatu, the original word is yujya. Yoga comes from the word yujya. And yujya means to connect. And connect what to what? That is the question. That's what Bhagavad Gita talks about. If you see entire Bhagavad Gita and all the chapters, it talks about yoga only. 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter, 4th chapter, 5th chapter, 6th chapter, all the chapters, especially the starting part, Bhagavad Gita actually is divided into 3 parts. The first 6 chapters talk about karma yoga. more in detail. We'll discuss all this in a nutshell. I mean, the last 6 chapters talk about Jnana Yoga. In the middle 6 chapters, we'll see what it talks about. But entire Bhagavad Gita is all about yoga only. Different ways to connect. So when you think about connect, right? You think about Fevicol, right? Fevicol, jode tutega nahi, right? Fevicol means it will. So what all things are needed for something to get stuck, to connect? Two things, right? 2 things is to be there to connect, right? Similarly in yoga also there are 2 things that is needed to connect. It could be the body, it could be the mind. But connect what? Right? We will see now. The highest yoga is to connect soul with God. 2 things are soul, Jiva, and God is Bhagwan. To connect soul with Bhagwan. That is the highest yoga. We will discuss this more in detail. There are 4 kinds of yoga. We will discuss more in detail in the coming sessions, coming slides. But just Karma Yoga, connecting our senses to the Lord. Jnana Yoga, connecting our mind to the Lord. Dhyana Yoga, connecting our intelligence to the Lord. And then Bhakti Yoga, connecting soul to the Lord. The very I, Jiva, to the Lord. Right? But what we think of yoga is Iyengar Yoga. Right? This, if you see down that person is also doing yoga. That is also yoga. Right? That is what our understanding is. Hot yoga, Kriya yoga, this yoga, that yoga. That is our understanding of yoga. But actually Bhagavad Gita explains that is very elementary understanding. Elementary understanding. Asanas, right? These are the understanding that we have. This is yoga. Correct? Shapely body. You should have shapely body. That is yoga. Right? That's what we think. Or something like that. That is yoga. Right? But that is not enough. That is not all in all yoga. Bhagavad Gita Krishna explains. You'll see what it is. Yeah, sometimes we want to increase our lifespan. Right? That's why we are doing everything. Why we want to increase our lifespan? You see in America, no, people are very health conscious comparatively. I mean, certain part you will see they are more health conscious. But the end goal is, you know what? Is to
live longer.
To
Live longer.
live longer. But why you want to live longer?
Happiness.
To enjoy. The end goal is to enjoy. Right? So still it is ulterior. And we have seen the previous sessions that how there is something higher enjoyment also. Right? But here also, whatever we want to have a shapely body, we want to have increased duration of life, everything is needed or people are doing for enjoyment. Maja aana chahiye. Right? Enjoyment. We want to enjoy. Mystic powers, right? Like you want to, some people you will see they do so much austerities so that they can gain the strength of walking on water, or you just think about something and it is in front of you, right? Why? And at the end it gives pride. Dhruva Samuni was the highest yogi, mystic yogi. But Srimad Bhagavatam explains that how he came into pride. And then Ambrish Maharaj actually delivered him. So you see that sometimes people think mystic yoga, right? People do that. Niyama, there are 8 kinds of mystic yogas. People do that just to think that, oh, they got something extra. But that is also not enough, Krishna explains. Right? So we discuss all this. Krishna explains the highest kind of yoga is actually Bhakti Yoga. We'll see more in detail. There's a difference between love and lust. Right? It is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Atmendriya Priti Vancha Tari Bali Kam Krishnendriya Priti Ichha Dhare Prema Nam. Love and lust. When you love Krishna, Supreme Person of your Godhead, when you offer your service to Krishna, that is love. But anyone else you offer your service, that is lust. If you think about it, we'll be discussing more in detail in the forward slides. Each and every one is serving someone. The husband will be serving their wife, his wife. The wife will be serving her husband. Kids will be serving parents. Parents will be serving the kids. A colleague might be serving his boss, or a soldier will be serving his nation. Each and every one is trying to serve someone. Tell me one person who is not serving. Worst case, he will be serving himself. He wants to just enjoy. Each and every person is trying to serve someone. And that's what Krishna is saying. But the highest service one can do is how we can serve Krishna. That's what the desire to gratify one's own senses is karma. Gratify one's own senses. And that gratification of one's own senses can come in different levels. Just serving the family is also in one sense gratifying my own senses. Because mamata is there. Me and mine. This is my family. This is my nation. This is my planet Earth. Right? But the desire to please the senses of Lord Krishna is prema. Love. So there is a vast difference between love and lust.
So, your devotion to your parents is also love, right? It's also pure.
Again, it depends on the consciousness. We'll come there. Family, we'll discuss that. That's the most sensitive topic. Family, we'll discuss that. So that's why Srimad Bhagavatam explaining Yatha Tarun Mula Nishechanena Trapyantita Skanda Bhujopashaka Pranopahara Chitendriyanam Tathaiva Sarvat Hamuchitejya. That we can, when you see someone, a gardener, when he's watering the tree, he will first water the root of the tree. When you water the root of the tree, each and every branches, leaves, fruits, flowers, everything gets nourished. Srimad Bhagavatam says exactly the same thing. When you water the root of the tree, then each and every person in the world will get nourished. It's like stomach. When you feed the stomach, see, one finger will not fight with the other finger that I want to eat. They will all work together to fill the stomach. Because once stomach is filled, everything will be filled. Correct? Everything will be nourished. But if the finger tries to fight amongst each other that no, I want to first enjoy, nobody will get anything. Because they all understand that stomach has to get nourished first. Once some stomach gets nourished, everyone will get nourished. Similarly, till now, in entire 8 sessions today, what we are discussing, you will think what we are discussing is Krishna's greatness. We are not discussing so much Krishna's sweetness. But when we read actually Bhagavad Gita, we'll come across his sweetness also. We'll see if we have time, we will try to discuss that. But we are all discussing Krishna's sweet greatness. And that's why sometimes we might think, oh, he's an autocrat or something. But that is not the case. What we are discussing is his greatness, that's why. But once we understand his sweetness through Srimad Bhagavatam, then we'll be able to appreciate him even more. But Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna explains that when you water the root of the tree, each and every devata also get nourished. See, there are 33 crore. One person asked last week, there are 33 crore devatas, right? Or higher human beings. If we try to serve each and every one, we will not even get 1 second to serve each person in a year. Right? First of all, we don't even know that many. Correct? And that's why Krishna is saying, what are the root of the tree? What are the root of the tree? So, there are 4 ways of motivation towards the Lord. There are 4 motivations why we approach Lord. 4 motivations. First is fear of God. Right? Sometimes you might see people having the fear. There are a lot of religion or philosophies. They are banking their entire philosophy only on fear. If you don't do this, you will go to hell. That is the lowermost motivation to approach God. Fear. Having that fear. So that is the first, most basic, and this is in mode of ignorance. People who are in mode of ignorance, at least they will approach Lord through this. At least they will approach Lord through this. So they have the fear of God. Second is, oh Lord, give me my daily bread. So you are approaching God for some desire. You want something in return, reward. So I go to God, He will give something. Okay, once I need again something, I'll go again. It's like going to a restaurant, ting, ting, waiter, chai, right? Get one milk, a glass of milk. Then again you will bang. Okay, waiter, come again. So when we go to temple, we think, here is a waiter in front of me. And let me ask something so that he can fulfill my desires. That is the second reason why we approach God. So that he can fulfill our desires. Again, we are going above. These are people in mode of passion. They are going, but to get something in return. Third is mode of goodness people. They are satisfied, they are happy. Then what will be the inclination? Why will they approach Lord? They are already happy, they are satisfied. Then, because they take it as a duty, that okay, even breathing is not because of me, right? think about it. Oxygen, carbon, whatever is happening around the world, right? Breathing and all. Even we never understand also what is happening inside the stomach, right? Everything is happening on its own, automatically. Discuss in the first session, second session. Everything is happening, right? So that gratitude is there. That, yeah, I mean, Krishna is doing all this without even asking, right? So out of duty. So first is fear. Second is desire. Above what we are going. Third is gratitude. And fourth, as we discussed, is out of love. Just because I love Krishna, I am ready to do anything and everything. Pandavas, they went through so much. Still, Arjuna said, Param Brahma Param Dhama. They never left Krishna. They never left Krishna. It's not like, okay, you're not fulfilling my desire, let me go somewhere else. Right? That is not the attitude of a person who loves Krishna. That is the highest. Love God. You throw me, you do anything to me, God, but still, I will keep loving you. That is the highest level that one can approach God. Obviously, it is difficult, right? That is what we discussed last time. Right? But we have so much faith that, Krishna is merciful, God is merciful. Whatever is happening is because of, there is some higher reason. But my love for him will not diminish. My love for him will not be impacted. Draupadi, so many stories are there. Parikshit Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj went through so much. Prahlad Maharaj went through so much when his dad, Hiranyakashipu, wanted to kill him. But still Prahlad Maharaj never left Krishna. He never left Narasimhadev. Right? So that is love. That is the highest level one can approach God. So fear, then desire, duty, and love. We can ask ourselves at which level we are and where we want to go. Right?
And the last one is Sattva, right?
Shuddha Sattva.
Shuddha Sattva.
Yeah. So ignorance, passion. So last is ignorance, passion, duty. Out of duty, that is mode of goodness. And then love is, I'm just doing because I love you. Krishna, I love you. And how we develop that love, we will see. And that is Shuddha Sattva. It goes beyond the three modes of nature. Because now you're not affected. I mean, you're not doing because I have gratitude or something. Not thank and all. I love you. That's it. See, husband and wife. I mean, in today's day and age, we cannot give exact thing. But it's not because, every morning my wife gets up and does the cooking for me. That's why. Imagine wife is asking you, why do you love me? Oh, because every morning you cook for me. Imagine. Right? No. Just or spontaneous. There is no reason to love. Obviously, again, in Kali Yuga, in this day and age, we can't say like that truly. But for example, mother. Srila Prabhupada actually mentions the closest that you can see in material world. Closest is a relationship between mother and a child. Do you think when child is in the womb, mother is thinking, when he will grow older or she will grow older, this guy will take care of me? No, it's sheer love, that's it. Right? So that is highest level of approaching love. So this yoga ladder discussion is actually goes for at least 2-3 sessions. It's 1/4 of the entire Bhagavad Gita is on yoga ladder only. 1/4. But we'll be discussing only in a nutshell. This again, yoga ladder is why. What are the different levels of yoga that we are not talking about body yoga in this, little bit more than that. This is step 0. Today's session will be more information first half, then we'll be discussing more about application. So this is fruity worker. They just want to enjoy. But they are enjoying under the rules and regulations. They are enjoying, but under the rules and regulations. These are known as Sakama devotees, Sakama Karma, or you can say Karma Kanda. Sort of those kind of people who will approach, I want this, Krishna, pending, a house by the sea, a color TV, a 3 Gampe 3 Jai Jagdisha. Basically, we are approaching Krishna because I want something, right? But they are doing all this under rules and regulations. It's not like vikarma, pious activities. These are known as Karma Kanda. So step 0, Karma Kanda. And next is Karma Yoga. The lowest most, can you see? Karma Yoga. This is also known as Nishkam Karma Yoga. You have heard this verse, right? From Mahabharata. What is that verse?
Karmanyavadhikaraste.
Mahaphaleshu Kadachana. So you're doing the work, but you're not attached to the duty. And we thought that is the highest yoga. That's actually the lowermost. In second chapter it comes. So you are doing the duties, but you're not attached to the results of it. Right? So that is, you're renouncing the results of it. That is Karma Yoga. Higher than Karma Yoga is Jnana Yoga. That is, you're meditating on the Brahman. We discussed that last time, right? There are 3 ways, there are 3 understanding of absolute truth. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan. So Brahman, you would have heard here Brahma Jyoti. That is Brahman. That is Paramatma. Super soul in everyone's heart. And third is Bhagavan, Krishna. So Jnana Yoga is more towards Brahman, focusing on Brahman. And then Ashtanga Yoga, it is meditating on the super soul. And Bhakti Yoga is meditating on Krishna himself.
So,
Go ahead.
what is the difference between Brahman and Paramatma?
So Brahman is the effulgence of Lord Krishna. It comes in between of the material world and spiritual world. So when you approach sun, when you see sun, before the sun, what you see? Sun rays. So that's how the comparison in scripture is mentioned is sun rays is Brahman, sun is like Paramatma, and sun god is like Bhagwan. So first what you see is sun rays. You approach more, then you will see the sun. And when you really reach there, then you will see sun god residing there. So there are 3 understanding. Both are, but still it is beyond the 3 modes of nature. It is still beyond the material world. But there are still levels. Even in Krishna there are levels, but anyway, we will not go there. But Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan. Bhakti Yoga. And we'll see why Bhakti Yoga is actually simple and why it is focused in Kali Yoga. You might be thinking, he is making his own stories. Right? So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita 6.47. First 6 chapter is talking about yoga ladder, as we discussed. In the last verse of that entire yoga ladder, Krishna is saying, Yoginam api sarvesham mad gatinandar atmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam bhaja yomam samay yukta tamomata. Right? And of all the yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and enters transcendental loving service. Bhakti doesn't mean devotion. Srila Prabhupada translates bhakti as devotional service. Why? Again, we can take the example of husband and wife, right? Wife will say to the husband, do you love me? And husband will say, yeah, I love you, I love you, I love you. But then wife will say, you tell you love me, but you don't do anything for me, right? Love is not a noun, it's a verb. You have to do something to show your love. Right? You have to do something. So similarly, Krishna is saying, transcend loving service. When you do some loving service to me, that is the highest yoga. That is the highest yoga. But then we might think all paths lead to the same goal. Right? Sometimes elders say, right, कुछ भी करो, last में तो वहीं जाना है. Right? Do anything and then you'll reach there only. Right? So you think you board the flight from San Jose to LA, but still you'll reach to New York. Is it the case? No. So which train you board, that is the destination you will go. Bhagavad Krishna explains that particular yoga path will lead to particular destination. One can become a mastic yogi, one can become a high, nice bodybuilder, one can become a yogi who is focusing on mind, or a dhyana yogi, ashtanga yogi, or one can become a bhakti yogi. Depends on what path he is taking. Based on that, his destination will be. And we have not discussed much in detail, but we know that there are higher level of planets also. Heavenly planets are there, Bhuvat, then there is Brahmalok, Swargalok. We don't discuss that in much in detail. High planetary systems are there, low planetary systems are there, and there is Earth. Right? So based on the yoga that he is performing, one can reach the highest is Brahmalok within the 3 modes of nature, material world. Right? So we discuss this yoga ladder, right? So all the yoga ladder is outside in. We are focusing on the outside, senses, mind, intelligence. But Bhakti Yoga is inside out. We are focusing on the core that we are, super soul, the soul, Jiva. And that's why it is direct process. And obviously in Kali Yuga, we don't have time also to focus. If I tell you, close your eyes, all of you close your eyes, okay, let's do it. All of you close your eyes. Don't worry, I'm not going to take anything from your pockets. Yeah, and now don't think about a green apple. Do not think about a green apple. Okay? Good for you. Okay, but majority wins. Right? But the point is, the mind will take you there where it should not go. Where you don't want the mind should go, it will take you there only. In between, you will think about, I'm not supposed to think of green apple. But then you think about green apple only. Right? There are some yogis here that is good. But in general.
For a short time, it's possible to do it because it was
Yeah.
very short.
Yeah, I said 2 minutes, but I took 30 seconds only. But yeah, the point is, the mind is very chanchal. And that is why in Kali Yuga it is explained, Bhagavad Krishna explained that Bhakti Yoga is very easy process. We will see, very, very easy process. It just helps us to even focus our mind, intelligence, everything in Krishna. And that's why it is said it is like a straight elevator process. You just go there and directly you'll reach instead of going through the yoga ladder of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. One doesn't have to go through each and every step. One can directly take the path of Bhakti Yoga. Yeah, we discussed this. Little bit we discussed. It's like a sandwich. The entire Bhagavad Gita is like a sandwich. What is the best part of the sandwich?
The feeling.
The filling. Right? The filling. Like that same thing, Krishna in entire Bhagavad Gita, he very nicely, he talks about Karma Yoga, first 6 chapters. Then 7 to 12, he talks about Bhakti Yoga. Completely focused on Bhakti Yoga. And then because he spoke about Bhakti Yoga, then Arjuna asks about how this material came into being. And then entire 13 to 18 chapter. You remember 14, 15 I discussed last time? 13 to 18, it's all about Jnana Yoga. He explains how this material world comes into picture and all that. So same, Bhakti Yoga is very nicely placed in Bhagavad Gita also in between. It's like another example is given of a jewel box. The base is hard, the above is a cover, and in between there is jewel. So like that, in Bhagavad Gita also, Bhakti Yoga exactly come in the middle. Like Krishna is explaining what is the highest truth. 7 to 12. So we discussed this also. Mostly it is we are just building upon what I am going to discuss. What is the nature of salt? Sweet. Salt. Okay, people are listening. Just testing. Nature of the salt is similarly the nature of the soul is Satchidananda. Correct? Satchidananda. And because it is like that, the activity of the soul by default, we discussed this, is to love and serve. We are doing that. If you think about it, we are doing that continuously to someone or the other. Either we will be loving ourselves like a selfish creature, could be. Might be serving ourselves because of selfish reasons. Or family, country, nation, government. Right? But that is all because of mamata. Right? See, me, family, okay, above family, society, nation, humanity, nature. Expansion of love. Right? But the real love comes when you selflessly serve Krishna. Selflessly serve Krishna. Same thing. The reason why we are suffering is because, like a fish, when he's taken out of the water, you always feel little weird. I'm not feeling something good. And similarly, the example is given of fish and water. Similarly, we as a soul, our nature is to love and serve Krishna. It is explained in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll discuss more. We discussed already some of the verses from previous Yogina Sarvesham, and then also in 9th chapter Krishna explains. So that is the nature of the soul, is to love and serve Krishna. But when we don't do that, then what happens is we feel a little uneasy. We are not feeling that something is missing. Kuch to gadbad hai gaya. Something is missing. We feel like that. Right? So, what is Bhakti Yoga? That yoga reestablishes our soul's love and service for Krishna. Is called Bhakti Yoga. And we saw that, right? We saw this example, akarma. Remember last time we discussed that how a soldier is going and killing 100 people of the opposite party, but he will get medal. The same soldier, if he kills the neighbor, he will be hanged to death. Right? Similarly, akarma also is the same thing. When we are doing everything with the question of Vaibhav, right, about family, we are doing everything, but understanding that this I am doing only because I want to serve Krishna. So I am serving my family, then it is akarma. But if you are thinking, no, I want to serve my family because I like this, because this is my family, then it is not akarma, then it is karma. And we'll see what it means to serve family in an akarma way. We'll see that. Even office work also, this can be done. It's all about the consciousness. Krishna doesn't, entire Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, you see, it's not about the action. More than action is the consciousness. At what consciousness it is done. That's why sometimes, right, even in material also, right, the judge says, oh, it was a cold, because of the cold death it was. Someone was not in a proper shape and that's why he killed. Right, the consciousness was very different. It was not to kill someone, but he was not in proper consciousness. Right, sometimes they leave them, sometimes it happens. So focus on consciousness. Whatever we are doing, what is our consciousness to do that activity? That is the focus more. We discussed this, watering the root and watering the parts. Correct? Let's keep this. So now one might think that, but I don't feel that. I don't feel that love, right, for Krishna. Michelangelo was saying, the sculptures are already there, the love is already there, but I just have to remove the excess marble of my chisel. Similarly, the love is already there, but it has been rusted because of illusion, pride, anger, greed, envy, lust. All these things are covering us because of which we are not able to. And in Bhagavad Gita, it is explained as anarthas. And each and every one has an anarthas. Each and every one is going through their own baggage. We say in Krishna consciousness, everyone has their own baggage. Everyone. And we'll see that. We might say, oh, I don't have pride. But somewhere or other, when we scratch a little bit of, we'll see that there is pride, there is anger, there is greed, there is envy. Because of that, we have controlling tendency. We want to control. And because of that controlling tendency, we feel that there is no love. There is no love for Krishna. But when we go to temples, we see some saintly people, we understand how come this guy has. Right? Because they have been able to, that magnet, the example of magnet is given. When it is rusted, it cannot attract the iron filings very easily. It cannot attract the iron filings very easily. Right? Because of the rust. And that rust is compared to anarthas in the heart. And how can we remove that rustness or that anarthas in the heart? Is through a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam, Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. 9 ways one can approach Krishna in 9 ways by which one can remove the unwanted things in our heart. 9 ways. If you go to Udupi temple, right? Udupi temple. Have you heard about Udupi temple? In order to see Krishna, there is a gate. You can only see Krishna through that gate. In that gate, there will be 9 holes. So you can see Krishna only through those 9 holes. And those 9 holes actually represents Navada Bhakti. 9 ways. Shravanam, hearing. From last 7.5 days, whatever weeks, what you all were doing was actually Shravanam. Hearing about Krishna. Shravanam. Once, I don't know whether I told this story. Once Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So once he was giving a class in the temple, and one guy came. He offered obeisances to deities, and he was about to leave. And then Bhakti Saraswati Thakur saw him and said, "How was your eye massage?" And did I say this story? No. This guy was shocked. Man, I came to see Krishna, take darshan of Krishna. How can he say, how was your eye massage? It's insulting, right? Imagine I asked Namra, how was your eye massage? He said, no, I came to take darshan. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur said, you have come to see Krishna, but You have no love to hear about Krishna. He was giving a class. He said, you have no love for. Sometimes you see in temple. See, when Vaishyavu or some devotees are giving class is going on, that person will come, take, and then he will leave. The idea is, okay, my quota is done. Check mark. Once a week or once a year or once in a lifetime. Check mark. Right? But there is no love to hear about Krishna. Right? That lollium should be there. That what exactly is this? Right? The Gopas, they were always they wanted to just hear about Krishna. Right? Shravanam, Parishit Maharaj, only 7 days were left. Only 7 days were left. Due to some reason, he came to know he's going to die in 7 days. And he approaches Shukadeva Goswami. And those 7 days, he just heard. And that hearing became the perfection of his life. That's why that photo is there. When you think about hearing, the example that is given is of Parikshit Maharaj. He just did one thing, only hearing. Shravanam. Just by Shravana, he perfected his life. Just by Shravana. Hearing about Krishna, knowing what exactly is Krishna, what Krishna is speaking about Bhagavad Gita, what is he speaking about? Arjuna also, he was hearing continuously for this. He didn't say, Jaldi, I have to fight also. Right? No. He was so much attached to whatever Krishna was speaking, hearing, Shravana. Second is Kirtana, chanting the holy names of the Lord or glorifying Krishna. That is Kirtana. Right? But we don't have time. Right? Srila Prabhupada used to say, when I say to the people, chant, 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 they say can't. Right? No time. Right? No time. We don't have time. Smarana, remembering the Lord. So once you have heard, you will go back home and you will start remembering, oh, that point was good. Right? A sincere, or otherwise, people will do, okay, done. My quota was done, now I'm going to sleep. But a sincere soul will think, oh, that point was there. What was that? Oh, but I have this question now. Remembering. Right? Smarana. Pada Sevanam. Serving the lotus feet of the Lord. The human's feet is like cactus. Right? We might say, husband might say that Bollywood song, right? Ye pair jamin pe mat rakhiye. Or that dialogue. But as age grows, that also gets ruined. But Krishna's feet is known as lotus feet. Pada Sevanam. If you see, Lakshmi ji is always serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Pada Sevanam. Archanam, worshipping the Lord. Whatever we can do in the morning, in the evening. Vandanam, offering prayers to the Lord. Whatever to the best of capacity, ability, we can offer prayers to the Lord. Or we can read prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam, from Bhagavad Gita. I remember when I was a child, I didn't know much about Krishna consciousness. I was very new. But my mother, because I was getting raised in a spiritual, by Krishna's mercy, I was raised in a spiritual family. My mother used to say, whenever you come in front of God, you should pray. You should pray something. And then I used to pray always. I used to pray these 3 things I used to pray. One is that please help me in my studies. Because in my childhood, I was the worst guy in studies. Pass ho gaya to. So always help me in my studies. Second, I used to pray, please help me remember so that I can remember you. And third, please help me so that I can stop TV. These 3 things I used to pray. Right? I used to have a very strong addiction. 24/7 also I can watch. But prayers. Krishna says again in Navda Bhakti, Vandanam, prayers. We should apply. By prayers, we are taking a very humble position. We are saying that it is not, I cannot do it, you can do it. Dasyam, this is the toughest part, right? Because we want to control. That's how the entire world has become now. Everyone wants to control. Right? We are not done with this earth. Now we want to have outside homes also. We want to have Mars and Jupiter and Sun. Also on Sun we want to have homes. Right? That is controllership. But Hanumanji, if you see, Dasyam, he never said, Lord Ram, jump. I mean, why are you making me? If I didn't come back then, what will happen? Right? Completely, he was just completely surrendered to Lord Ram. Dasyam. Right? That is servant of the Lord. That is Sakhyam, friend. Friend is, you should say this answer. Say friend is
Arjuna.
Arjuna. he attained perfection just by having friendship with the Lord. And so much, he was so much, 8 o'clock, time is running, okay. There was so much faith in Krishna. This is a very nice pastime. I don't know whether again I said this or not. After 6 sessions, I myself forget what I what I discussed. Once Duryodhana and Krishna and Arjuna, you remember that pastime? Krishna was lying on the bed, Arjuna was on one side and Duryodhana on one side, and they wanted either Krishna or Narayani Sena, right? And then somehow, due to some reason, Arjuna gets the chance. And what Arjuna asks for? Krishna. So Krishna at one side and Krishna's army at the other side. And Krishna's army is huge. So Arjuna gets the first chance and Arjuna says, I want your army. I want you, Krishna. And then Arjuna says, Duryodhana in the heart, he's jumping, cartwheels. But outside he's saying, okay. Krishna went to Arjuna. Okay, now what is remaining is army. Okay, I will take army. Then he leaves. And then there's a poet. It's a Hindi poem, but it's a very sweet. I'll translate in English also. So Krishna on this entire episode tells to Arjuna after the entire episode, हार तेरी निश्चित है, तू रहेगा सदा उदास, माखन लेके बो गया, रह गया तेरी छास. हार तेरी निश्चित है, Arjuna, you are going to lose this battle now, because Krishna is in his side, but Krishna said, I will not fight. I'll either whatever side I will be, I will not fight. Okay. So he's saying, what is the point of you getting me in this fight? So you will lose the battle. हार तेरी निश्चित है, तू रहेगा सदा उदास. Because you will lose the battle, you will always remain sad. माखन लेके वो गया, the butter. Main thing is butter. He took the butter, and what is remaining with you is buttermilk. रह गया तेरी छाछ. Buttermilk is like what? Pani, water. Butter is like, right? So he took the butter, and what is remaining is buttermilk with you. But we're talking about Sakyam. How Arjuna, he took Krishna as his dear friend. He said, जीत मेरी निश्चित है, दास कभी ना बहु दास, माखन लेके क्या करूं जब माखन चोरे मेरे पास. Right? He said, जीत मेरी निश्चित है. I'm going to win this battle. Krishna, you don't worry, I am going to win this battle. जीत मेरी निश्चित है, दास कभी ना बहु. A servant of yours will never remain sorrow, will never be sad. माखन लेके क्या करूं? What will I do by taking that butter when butter thief is with me? Krishna is also known as butter thief. So play of words, he's saying, butter thief is with me. What will I do of butter? We're talking about the sweetness of the Lord. Right? Sweetness. Here, he's not thinking about the greatness, but he knows that Krishna is very sweet. Whatever happens, he'll protect me. Imagine what all Pandavas had to go through. Still he had this faith. And that time, Bhagavad didn't happen. It's not like Arjuna came to know he's my friend and all, he's Supreme Chaitanya got it. No. But he had that much faith in Krishna. Sweetness. Right? Whatever Pandavas had gone through. And last is Atma Nivedana. Bali Maharaj. Anyways, this is too much to discuss. Complete surrender to the Lord. Complete surrender. Even in family life also we can have complete surrender to the Lord. You know Henry Ford. So one of his descendants, you remember his name? I forgot. One of his descendants, you can search. His name is Ambarish. Huh? Ambarish. I forgot his karmic name before that, but his name is Ambarish after he got initiated from Srila Prabhupada. And when Henry Ford, you understand it, what level they are. But when his descendant, one of the descendants, Ambarish Maharaj, when he heard, Ambarish Prabhu, when he heard entire Bhagavad and Srimad Bhagavatam, he had heard some of the classes. He just said, I want to surrender to Krishna. Now he stays in Mayapur, which is in India, and he's trying to build an entire big temple. So we'll discuss a little bit, we'll see. So there are 9 ways. If we follow these 9 ways, we'll discuss another things. Then slowly, that rusting in the magnet that is there, that will go away, and then we can attract Krishna.
And this is through Bhakti Yoga.
This is all Bhakti Yoga. Sakyam, Rasyam, this is all Bhakti Yoga. Hearing about Krishna, glorifying about Krishna, remembering about Krishna. Lord.
So what is the difference between prayer and wish? Because prayer, the examples that you gave were more of wishes, right? So
Oh, that's why I said, right? That's why I said childhood. Obviously, I was. Prayers means, that's what we understand. Prayers means to ask something. But actually, prayers means to glorify the Lord. Prayers means to glorify the Lord. Also, it just doesn't mean glorify the Lord. Also explaining, also remembering that what is my situation, what is my position. Telling the Lord that my position is, I'm not doing well. You please help me. There are a lot of bhajans by devotees, and in all those bhajans you will see that they are taking a very humble position. That I'm suffering. You please help me. They never say I'm enjoying. You please help me more so that I can enjoy more. They will always take a very humble position. That is prayers to the Lord. So important. Family. How can I practice bhakti yoga in my family life? Right? So one question, quick question. Arjuna, what was he? He was sannyasi, right? Obviously.
Family man.
Family man, right? Family man. Right? King, top of that. How much work he will have? We are nothing. We are nothing in front of Arjuna in terms of the family duties. Right? And when was the Bhagavad spoken?
In the middle of the
That was one of the not one of the most important situation of his life. The most. Imagine for 12 years he's preparing. And that one junction, that time Bhagavad is spoken. He could have said, not now. I don't know, what are you saying now? We say, right, now? So important. I'm doing a master's. Now? You don't understand? I just got a ping from a manager. From last 2 days, this is what is happening. Ask them. So much work. Arjuna heard Bhagavad at the most important juncture of his life. How in movies, right? Director, when something important is written, he will put a very perfect background, right? Similarly, Krishna is putting a situation where it was most important point of his life. Arjuna, at that time, he took a pause and he was ready to hear Bhagavad from Krishna. Right? So it's not like family life means we cannot practice. In fact, in family life only, we can practice Krishna consciousness. Arjuna was a king and a family man. Krishna spoke Bhagavad to him. Right? So was Arjuna sannyasi? No, he was a married man. Right? But this is the problem. There is no time. Correct? But if we see this is normal throughout the life only. Arjuna also, he was also very busy, but still he took out time. There are 3 phases in our life. In childhood or pre-youth sort of, 80s, 18, 19s, 20s age. We have time, we have energy, but we have no money. Right? No money. Then once we enter into 25s and 30s, then we have money, we have energy, but no time. You ask anyone, no time. They will never have time. And then what we want to do is at the old age. Old age we have time and money also, 401k, right?
No energy.
But no energy, right? So our situation will always be something will be missing. Something will be missing in our life, right? But we have to prioritize. That's what Bhagavad Gita, actually Arjuna is showing us that situation will be there, but we have to prioritize. His specialty retirement program. Parents say, right? I will tell you this is real story. I am going to edit it because it's about my family only. So, and that's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj was asked the exact same question. When to start? Coding? No. Devotional service. And Krishna is saying, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Kaumara Acharit Pragyo. Kaumara. After age of 5, you can start practicing Krishna consciousness. That is the most ideal age to start. Why? Because by the time you are grown up, you have that correct set of mindset. So Kaumara, as early as possible. We should not delay it. Imagine throughout the entire life, whatever you will remember, we discussed right last time. Throughout the entire life, whatever you will remember, that's what you will remember at the time of death. Death is the most important examination. Life is a preparation, right? and death is the examination. So whatever you will prepare throughout your life, that's what you will remember at the end of the life. So similarly, if you see the story in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bharat Maharaj, he was pakka devotee, but during his fan death of his life, he got attached to a deer. Somehow he felt, I want to protect this deer because he lost his mother. And so much in protecting that deer, he stopped practicing devotional service. And in the next life, he became a deer. Right? We don't know what will be our next life be. Pig, dog, we don't know. Right? We discussed there will be 4 levels. Either we can go down, we can go up, we can remain here, or we can transcend. Right? So that is the examination. So how to know if Gita I am reading is original? I want original one. Right? As if we are going to understand it. Sometimes people ask this question, right? We want the original one. Right? How to understand? Srila Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, if you see the highest number of commentaries that has been sold all over the world is actually Bhagavad Gita as it is written by Srila Prabhupada. How can we know that that the original Gita, the one that is written is as it is? Let's say I give salt, we took the example of salt. I'll give salt to Jai Prabhu, and Jai Prabhu passes to Saya passes to Tapan passes to Ananta, and it goes till Tarun. I felt salty, and if he felt sweet, that means something got broken. Right? Something got broken. Right? Disciplic succession means whatever knowledge was passed down from the top till the bottom, each and every one of them has experienced the exact same thing. That means it is in disciplic succession. So what I experienced and what Tarun experienced, Tarun Prabhu, if we both have experienced the same thing, that means there is no breakage in the chain. And Srila Prabhupada, if we read Bhagavad Gita in the introduction, Srila Prabhupada says that whatever I am writing, I have not added or subtracted even a single word from this. Whatever I have written in this book is all from previous acharyas. In fact, nowadays, in order to do PhD, you have to come up with something new, right? But in scriptures, copyright, if you do copy, it is good. It is good. So we see Krishna, from Krishna Brahma, Narada, until Srila Prabhupada. Arjuna, when he heard Bhagavad Gita, what was his experience? He says, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhava, that you are Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oh Krishna, you are Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then at the end he says, whatever you say, I will do that. Akarma, whatever you say, I will do that. And Srila Prabhupada also, throughout the entire Bhagavad Gita, he's saying, whatever you say, I will do that. Param Brahma, Param Dhama. He also says the same. Sometimes people say, why in this book, in Bhagavad Gita, so much Krishna is there? Because Krishna is speaking, so Krishna is there. Now nowadays so many commentaries are there, right? They will write so much commentaries. There is no Krishna only in that book. 2014-15, I went to Dallas and Houston, and there was in the house there was one copy of Bhagavad Gita, and it was in Hindi. There was no Sanskrit only; it was only Hindi. 700 verses were there. So I was reading Bhagavad Gita of Srila Prabhupada. So I came to a verse, and I opened that because that was the only verse I knew that time. So I opened that verse. And I was seeing the meaning. There was not even there was no connection between the verse, original verse, and the meaning of the verse. Then I showed that this is what the Sanskrit verse is, and this is the meaning that is there. And Srila Prabhupada, that's why if you see in Bhagavad Gita that he has published, there is word to word meaning. Even if you don't say, okay, I don't believe in Srila Prabhupada, you yourself can do word to word and you can understand what Krishna is trying to say. So why we are saying it as it is? Because the experience that Arjuna got and the experience that Srila Prabhupada is sharing is exactly the same. So we understand there is no breakage in disciplic succession. And we also see in Bhagavad Gita, if you open as it is, in introduction, Srila Prabhupada is saying that how from Krishna right till Srila Prabhupada, there is a continuous disciplic succession.
And how do we know
And there are 4.
they write same? How do we know they write same? How do we know that they write the same, like Sri Prabhupada and Krishna?
Yeah, so for that's why I said, word to word translation, even if you don't believe what Srila Prabhupada is saying, let's say, because in today's world everything is DIY. right? We have to learn ourselves. Correct? So let's say we feel that we don't believe in translation and purport, then just go word to word. If you don't want to do that also, then you yourself start looking for Sanskrit word, what is the meaning of it. And you can understand that, how much close it is. Right? So bona fide sampradayas. In Srimad Bhagavatam, in scripture it is mentioned there are 4 bona fide sampradayas. One is from Lord Brahma. So the knowledge, the Vedas, Vedic scriptures was first given from Krishna to Brahma. 4 people, Brahma, Lakshmi ji, Lord Shiva and 4 Kumaras. And from Brahma is Madhvacharya. And that's why, and we, ISKCON, they come under Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. That's why we are also known as Brahma Sampradaya. Because our reserve section is from Brahma. It's not like only ISKCON. It's nothing like that. There are other 3 bona fide Sampradayas also. Lakshmi ji, Lord Shiva and Kumaras. From Lakshmi ji is Sri Ramanujacharya. Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, you might have heard. Right? Similarly, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarkacharya, you would have heard. So there are bona fide Sampradayas. To your question, right? How people can change the meaning, right? This is one. So one has to understand the essence. Essence needs to be understood, not just word to word. The essence also needs to be understood. This is one verse. It comes play. This is play of word. Keshavam patitam drishtva Pandava harshi nirbhara rudanti kaurava sarve ha Keshava Keshava. One level one can understand the meaning. Keshava patitam. Keshava means Krishna. Krishna patitam. He fell down. Drishtva Pandava harshi nirbhara. So Pandava started smiling, harsha, they became happy. Rudanti Kaurava. Kaurava, when Krishna fell down, they were crying. Kaurava was crying. Ha Keshava Keshava. Oh, Krishna fell down, Krishna fell down. Right? One can understand the meaning like that. Right? But then the one who actually wrote the Sanskrit words, he says, the real meaning that he wanted to write, this was play of words, but one can misuse based on their own understanding. Right? Sometimes there is a book, I remember when I was a child, my sister came home and she told my mother that we have a chapter, Duryodhan Suryodhan. My mother said, don't read all these chapters. Leave it. Because people can come up with their own understanding. Right? Real meaning is Keshava. Shava also means body, of the body. Patitam, when the body fell Drishta in the water, Pandava, it also means fishes. So fishes, Harsha, they became very happy. Rudanti, but Rudanti Kaurava. Kaurava also means crows. But crows started crying. He went down, so Ha Keshava Keshava, that Shav is falling below. So one can understand multiple meanings are there, but one should understand what is the essence. What is the essence? Right? So now we'll discuss. We'll skip this. Yeah, we'll skip this. So I'll just run fast. So what should we do? We understand that there is some problem. We are trying to look for happiness, but there is some pinprick. So we should approach a hospital. We should approach a doctor. We'll discuss one. Very fast we'll go. Avoid negative things and positive treatment. We'll go fast now. We discuss all this, right? Birth, death, old age, disease. We know this is the problem. So we understand there is some pinprick, right? And then there is Adhyatmika, Adhibhautika, and Adhidevika. Adhidevika, natural disturbance. Adhibhautika, our roommates. And Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika is mind, body, right? What is the hospital in this case? It's a temple. Mandir. Right? Mandir. Mana. Wherever, when we get peace of mind is Mandir. So similarly, hospital. But if we don't have to go far, even in our home, we can make it a temple. We can understand what is the focus. Is the TV the focus of the house? Or temple is the focus of the house? We can have a small altar, at least. Right? We'll skip. So approach the right hospital. So TV is not the center of the house. So it's such a big TV. And where will be the temple? In the kitchen, in one of the drawers. Right? That will be our altar. My altar. And kitchen will be, TV will be 70-inch TV. Right? So we should understand what is the focus. We can understand just by that what is the focus of the house. Right? We'll skip. This is important. You have to approach the right guru. How you have to approach the right doctor? Imagine the doctor is saying, do whatever you want. The patient is coming and saying that, what medicine should I take? And doctor says, just apply anything. Just go home and do anything. You will be cured. Will you go next time to the doctor? No, right? You will never go. So guru should actually try to teach you What is devotional service? This is the definition. Titikshava karunika, Suruda Sarvadehina, Ajata Shatrava Shanta, Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. Titikshava is very tolerant. Is very tolerant and merciful. Like for example, mother, when the child kicks the mother will not kick again. Okay? In the womb is kicking me. No, mother will be very merciful. No problem. He will do what he wants. But I should be merciful. Right? Suruda, he is always friend of everyone. Ajata Shatrava. There are no enemies. People might take him as enemies, but he will not take enemies to anyone. For him, everyone is his friends. Sadhu Sadhu Bhushana. Anyways, we have less time, but we should approach a bona fide guru. Srila Prabhupada, if we have time, we'll see, till the last breath, he was actually translating the books. Till the last breath. At least last moment you will say, right, okay, done. Now let's have something else. Till the last breath, he was focused on translating. Right? We said, right, DIY. You want to learn on our own, then this happens. The door is opening, but you are directly down on the stairs. On the right side, the AC is on, but it is outside instead of putting it inside. So basically, we'll screw up. Spiritual life, for that, we need a guru. We might do all these things through YouTube and all, but when it comes to spiritual life, we need someone as a person so we can approach and ask questions. Krishna also tells exactly the same thing to Arjuna, that you have to ask questions. Pariprashrena. Prashna means questions. Sevaya. Upadideksham Jnanam Jnanina Sattvadarshana. Whom one who has seen the truth. He teaches the art of, I'll quickly finish this section at least. He teaches the art of balancing. Once there was a man and there were two friends and they did some ghapla, they did some mistake and the king came to know. And then the king said that you both walk on this rope from one building to another. If you are able to save yourself, then I will leave you. Otherwise, you will die. It was the 50th floor. So one guy was saying to the other guy, first you, pehle aap. And then first guy, okay, said I will go. And then somehow he was able to reach first step, second time, and he was able to reach at the end. The first guy was asking him, hey, how come you reached? I've seen you can't even walk properly on the land. How come you walk on the rope and you reach there? And that guy from there only said this way, two things. He said, you want to know what is the secret? He said, first is sadhya. I was completely focused on the goal. A guru's instruction might be heavy. Heavy means not his weight is heavy, but his instructions will be heavier than on the tarazu. Any other things you see in this material world. Instructions are heavy. A guru will always remind you of your goal. What is your goal of the life? So he said that I was completely focused on Satya. What is the goal? I was only focusing on that. Not left, not right, not up, definitely not down. Just focus on the goal. And second, whenever I was shifting one side, I was giving a jerk on this side. When I was shifting this side. So similarly, Guru also explains how one should balance their life, material and spiritual. If it become too materialistic, then obviously, like till that old age, we will not do, right? If you become too spiritualistic, it is possible that one can become very disturbed and not able to serve his family also, and then finally leave spiritual life. So that balancing, Krishna also says to Arjuna that one has to balance things. Art of balancing. Lot more is there. This is a very nice video. You are able to hear? Now you are able to hear? Let me make it faster.
This story is about Haridas Prabhu, how he joined in Prabhupada's movement.
We're talking about how a guru can change your life.
In 1971-72, he was staying in Mumbai, no parents, no dependents. So to maintain himself, he used to wash cars, do tela work, means carry lifts, items here and there. He was around 12-13 years old boy. He was doing all these things and all. Sometimes he used to go and steal money also, pickpocket, to get money, to maintain himself. When there is no work, he used to do stealing. Then, now you gave me chocolate, I am giving you this halwa, eat this.
So basically he made halwa.
Ate that halwa.
He made halwa.
The next moment he forgot about chocolate. He threw away the chocolate and he said, this is the best thing I have heard.
Many devotees in ISKCON became devotees through
So that is the potential.
halwa.
Just by being in the association of devotees to the highest category of Prabhupada,
I became through paneer.
he forgot all about stealing, all about chocolates. See, Prabhupada is teaching by practical examples. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Rasavarjam rasopiyasya param dushtva nivartate. by higher taste we forget lower taste.
Someone was asking last week that how
So
can
in
we
this way, Prabhupada
give up the
gives
lower taste?
all of us
When we get the higher
different higher taste for all of us,
automatically that low taste.
so that we will be able to hook on to this Krishna conscious movement and engage.
Right? So approaching the right doctor. Right? Negative things. Come on, this you have to answer. Avoid negative things. What are the negative things that we discussed?
Intoxication, illicit relationship, gambling, and
Meat eating.
Correct. Yeah, meat eating, gambling, intoxication. I will not go in much in detail. Okay. And finally, apply positive. Okay. So whatever I discussed till now, last 7 weeks and 2 hours. Let's say you are hearing from here. I mean, coming from here and going on, it's completely fine. No problem. But now whatever we are going to discuss, please. You have heard already, but we'll go little more detail. Okay, the last session, so I have the liberty to take a little bit more time today. So we'll discuss, apply the positive treatment. We can do the negative, remove the negative part, but that is not enough. The negative parts that we are removing, that we are doing as a human. But now what we are going to do, apply positive, that is as a devotee. Okay, as a devotee. So this is very important. Okay. Just 4 letters. A, B, C, D. Just remember this. That's it. Your life will be blissful. A, B, C, D. First is association. We need to have devotee association. The day we become serious and we start taking and we start coming to temple, we start taking devotee association, believe me, you'll not even realize your life has changed. And the lower modes that lot of inclination was there, you start to remove. Because you're around those people. Imagine if you're not with someone, I mean, akele, what will drink, right? Let's say some person is very habituated to drink. Although how much he will drink, right? I mean, Devdas or he will become how much, right? But once he gets someone who is another drunkard, then things are different. But once we get the association of devotees, you saw that Haridas Prabhu also. Once he got the association, he was actually robber. Imagine, I mean, lowest of the lowest inclination. But as soon as he got association with the devotees, slowly, his heart transformed. Right? Devotee association. Second is reading books. Swadhyaya and Shravanam. When we read books, actually we get the knowledge. And through that, our doubts get destroyed. The biggest problem of not taking Krishna consciousness is because of the weak heart and faith, lack of faith. And that faith comes through intelligence. Our intelligence becomes strong when we read books. We start understanding what this way. That's why I should practice Krishna consciousness. Reading of books. You saw these books, we'll be discussing that last. So, books. Srila Prabhupada wrote so many books. In fact, when Bhaktivedanta Thakur was there, Srila Prabhupada asked, what should I do? He said, whenever you have any money, you print books and distribute the books. And that's why in ISKCON there is so much focus on distributing the books. Because by books are idea seeds. Just through books, one can actually transcend this material world. Quick, then otherwise we'll ask. Yeah. Third is chanting the holy names of the Lord. Brahmaji was asked in Kali Santana Upanishad, in this age of Kali, what is the easiest way? He says, Hare Nama Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva Pratiranyata. Hari ka Nam, Hare Nama Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, no other way. One can get delivered from this material world. And we discussed last time, Kalai Doshan Indirajan, Asti Ekamanman, Kirtanat Eva Krishna Se, Mukta Sangha Paramdeji. There are so many faults in this material world. But there is one great quality, the holy names. And then Brahmaji was asked that, okay, you're saying Hare Nama, you're saying name of the Lord Hari we should chant, but which name we should chant? And then in Kali Santana Upanishad is mentioned, the name that we should chant is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama. It has a lot of potency. A lot of people got delivered just through this chanting of the holy names. Holy name of the Lord. Iti Shorshakam. This is the words that Brahmaji said was 2 parts. One was the words, the holy name itself, and second was Iti Shorshakam Nam Kali Karmashanashanam. After searching through all the literature, one cannot find a method of religion more sublime for this age than chanting of the Hare Krishna. Brahmaji is saying this in Kali Santana Upanishad. This is a nice video. Here, Shilpa was explaining what is the meaning of holy name, what we should do while we are chanting holy name. And when I was coming to Krishna consciousness, just starting, I used to put this on circle, and I used to keep hearing this only. It's like a 7-minute video. It's a very nice video. Kids are also singing in between, and yeah.
Transcendental vibration by chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is the sublime method for reviving our Krishna consciousness. As living spiritual soul, we are all originally Krishna conscious entities, but due to our association with matter from time immemorial, our consciousness is now polluted by material atmosphere. In this polluted concept of life, we are all trying to exploit the resources of material nature, but actually we are becoming more and more entangled in our complexities. There is no need of understanding the language of mantra, nor there is any need of mental speculation, nor any intellectual adjustment for chanting this mantra. It springs automatically from the spiritual platform, and as such, anyone can take part in this transcendental sound vibration. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
And fourth is diet, prasadam. So we spoke how food that we eat, if we are vegetarian, we didn't discuss that. Yeah, if you are vegetarian, still there is some karma. Why? Because we are killing the plants. And that's why Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Yomam Bhakti Vashi, that he says. And then he says, if you offer that food to me, then there is a karma. Then there will be no sinful reaction. Yagya Sishtana Shana Santo, Muchente Sarva Kilvishay, Bhujante Tev Gam Papa, Ye Pachantatma Karna. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal enjoyment verily eat only sin. And that's why in various places you see people first offer everything, whatever they eat, they first offer it and then they eat. It's not like today is a special day, it is my birthday, so I'll offer it. Whatever we eat, we first offer it to Krishna and then we eat. Because then it becomes prasadam. Then it is mercy of the Lord. Otherwise, it's sense enjoyment. And that's why there will be some karma. When we offer it, it's mercy. And there is no sins. There's one story, I want to skip this because we don't have time. In this, once air hostess comes to the Srila Prabhupada was sitting and he was not ordering anything from the flight. So he said, can I bring something? Srila Prabhupada said, no. And then finally he said, okay, get me a glass of milk. And then she got a glass of milk. And then Srila Prabhupada had this puffed rice. And she came running, she saw that, what is this puffed rice? She never saw this before. She came running and she just took it without asking. The Prabhupada was already eating. And she ate that puffed rice and she said, this is amazing. Puffed rice is what, simple, right? But she was able to appreciate because of the Krishna. And then she left. After that, so this devotee who was sitting with Srila Prabhupada, he was in one class, he was giving this, that how one lady air hostess, she came running, she took the puff rice and she left. And how sometimes people unknowingly get mercy. Basically, she had Krishna's Maha. So then there was one devotee who was sitting there and listening to the entire class and he said that this is not the end of the story. There is part remaining. So what later on happened is, this devotee who was now narrating, he said that I went for book distribution to a forest near Amazon, Brazil side, and there I found, I knocked the door, and when I entered that door, there was one lady, she had a very nice picture of Krishna and there was an altar and everything. Then I asked, how did you start practicing Krishna consciousness? What made you? And she said that some years back, I was an air hostess. I met this saint, his name was Srila Prabhupada, and I ate the Maha, the prasadam. And when I was just about to leave the flight, one of the person, one of his disciples looks like, he gave a book, Science of Self-Realization. But that prasadam was so good, I felt that I want to read this book, what they're actually teaching. then I read Science of Civilization. I just felt this is something important. And alone, she has been trying to, just through Srila Prabhupada's books, she was trying to practice Krishna consciousness. So you see the power of chanting, reading books, and having a proper diet. Yeah, I mean diet we can speak more, but I'll skip. Now why ABCD only? Why not G H H I J K L M N O P Q R S T? All these four are actually related to our body only. Diet is for our senses, because senses are the ones which actually is forcing us to get into lower inclinations. Diet helps us to purify those senses. Chanting helps us to, we discussed mantra, focus on the mind. It helps us to focus on the mind. Then B, book reading. It helps us to develop our intelligence. And by association, we destroy our false ego. We understand that actually what we need is Krishna. And that ego that is there to control everything, that starts to diminish. You know, when I was coming to Krishna consciousness, I was in JP Morgan. That time it was all about money. And that's what I was seeing, because my friend was in Delhi, he came from Delhi, I was looking up to him, Delhi. But then when I was asked by my sister that come to Singapore and attend a small retreat, Radha Gopinath Prabhu is one of the devotees from Chowpatty, Mumbai. He was giving a class there. And I went there only because I wanted to visit Singapore. And all the roommates said, "You're wasting your money, this guy is only coming here to enjoy." My sister said, "No problem, at least he's coming for the retreat." I went there. I was put in a room where there were 4 people and I was the 5th person. And when I went inside, what I saw was, it was a master bed, like sort of two people can, 2 or 3 can only stay, like a king size bed it was there. And entire night I did not go that room only. I left that place and I thought, my sister she doesn't understand where I work and what kind of room she has given. Where will I sleep now? I have to sleep down. Others, they are from Singapore only, so they will sleep up. I have to sleep down. And I was just screaming the entire night. I didn't went inside. Then I started feeling sleepy. I went inside. And what I saw was actually everybody was sleeping down. The entire bed was empty for me. And that my first experience was that these guys are different. These guys are different. By nature, devotee is very humble because he understands that my situation is what. Right? So false ego gets destroyed. And that's when that first thing I wanted after that experience was when Radha Gopinath Prabhu started speaking, my curiosity was that how it can become like this. And they were all, my sister also is, Dev Shandward, I don't know what you call it in English. She put me in a position, in that room was Asia Pacific head was there, of Barclays. And then like this Bofa head was there. So she put me in a situation because she knew that this guy is very materialistic. So when I saw these kind of people and they're so humble, I felt that this is different. This is different. So association actually helps us to destroy our false ego. So diet, chanting, book, reading and association. Right? So we discussed 4 types. Bhakti yoga is the topmost. Practicing bhakti at home, how we can practice. Making home as a temple, chanting, inviting Vaishnavas at our home. Right? Making a place where Vaishnavas can come, devotees can come, Krishna can come and recite. And how we can serve Krishna as a family. And Srila Prabhupada is the ocean of mercy. It's called ocean of mercy. Without him, I would be rotting in this material world. If there was no books that he gave, it would have been difficult. Whatever examples, most of the examples that I gave also, is actually many of them are from his books itself, from his teachings. So, we thank him as well. His full name is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Also on the altar you see some small pictures. They are not like my ancestors or something. That is disciple succession. You will see Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Gaur Kushadha Babaji Maharaj, entire disciple succession. So thank you very much. And so whenever there are sessions like this, there's a teacher and there are students. And then what happens is at the end there is Guru Dakshina. Something has to be given in return. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that the most dear to him, in 18th chapter, you can check it, 68 verse, 69 verse, he says the most dear to him are the people who actually give this knowledge to others. Give this knowledge to others. Because when you teach someone, then you learn more. Right? So it's a humble request. Their books are there. Each one of, as a family, like Shikamada, you can take one like this. Each family can take one box. There are only 12 books. 12 packs are there. And there is no Lakshmi. You can just take the books. And whoever you feel is inclined toward Krishna consciousness or little bit of spirituality is there, try to give them. You never know how their life will change. Should I give you an example? 2020, my mother was here. Yeah, 2020, December time. My mother was here. My wife was expecting. And at that time we had marathon. And like this, she was distributing books to, she was to take around. And whoever she meets, she used to give these books. And there she met a person and she told that next year, because it was COVID time, so 2020, next year, my son and his wife, they conduct like Bhagavad Gita course. Next year, you come. It was in December time, she said. You come next year and you attend those sessions. And then around time of June 2021, we decided that we will start our Bhagavad Gita sessions again. But we wanted to keep it told profile, so we didn't told many people. Only very few people we told because just COVID was, people might complain and all. I mean, why are you gathering so many people? So we thought we'll start very small like that. And suddenly we got a knock on the door. That very day, the day we were planning to start our sessions after 6 months, December, and then after 6 months, June, someone knocked at the door and asked, when are you planning to start Bhagavad Gita sessions? And first I thought that my wife told everyone what I told not to tell her. Right? Then I asked, how did you come to know what that Bhagavad Gita session? She said, I don't know, I just knocked today. She didn't even know this is the house. She just knew that it is on Leh Avenue, on this place. And then I called my wife. And then from that time, she has been attending. You can understand, you are mathematicians. What is the probability that in the entire year, that very day only she knocked after 6 months? Rekha Mataji, she is here sitting. Right? From that time, she has been coming. Books are ideas, it can change someone's life. So it's a very, very humble request to each one of you. You don't have to do much, you have to just give the books. And it's up to them and Krishna how the reciprocation happens. But at least from your side, you can just give this package. There are, I think, 12 in each box. Ramesh Prabhu packed everything. There are 12 in each box. You can at least just, whoever you meet, let's say some plumber is coming home to do something, you just give it to them. You never know how their life will change. If someone would not have given me books, I won't have been here. It's all because of books. Yeah. And Srila Prabhupada, there's one video I want to show. It's 9 o'clock. I don't want to stretch too much. But so the point is, Srila Prabhupada gave literally his life to print these books. He could have done anything. But he took his spiritual master's instruction to his heart. His guru's instructions to his heart. And he did it. And whatever you are seeing nowadays, ISKCON is thriving, everything, is actually because of his books. Because there is no association, right? But through his books, we are getting his association. He was a Mahabharata, very advanced Vaishnava. So you please take these boxes. One box you can take, each one of you, as a family, like Swam and Ruchi Mataji, you can take one box like that. If you want to take more, always you're welcome. And you can just distribute to whoever you want. So that will please Srila Prabhupada and it will please Krishna. Thank you again. Also, there are chanting beads here. Last time when some of you were asking, so I kept it here only. So please take. And whatever mistakes I have done in this entire 8 sessions, please understand it was my mistakes. And whatever thing you felt was helpful, that was all because of my seniors that they have taught. Sundar Babu has been very tolerant. So all that because of him I have learned, and many other teachers. So thank you. Thank you very much.